Hey, welcome into Dom Time. We'll take more callers coming up, but I wanted to get a quick reaction from Greg Quinlan. We heard two back-to-back callers, the whatever caller and then the immoral caller here. We're going to take Stephen next. Yeah, what did you hear?
Well, we did talk about the immoral caller, but just people do have a moral compass. People do have a standard of what's moral and what isn't moral. And to say that she indicted herself by saying that homosexual marriage or homosexuality itself is immoral, that's just wrong.
Well, let me ask you, because we've been asking Jay and we commented on his tactics versus Mark Siegel, who was on with him immediately after this happened.
Yeah, I don't know who Mark Siegel is.
I want to ask you about your tactics, though. Do you feel they're effective because you're a very forceful advocate on this? Do you feel you have to put a preamble out there?
This is where I talk about the need for education, because we need to understand that homosexuality is not innate.
No, what I mean
all
is
of these things.
Your approach to this to win hearts and minds, is it effective?
Again, it can be effective as long as we use this as a tool for education.
Sensitivity I'm talking about.
The sensitivity part of it is there's no other way to be when you're giving factual information that some people aren't going to take it as being offensive, because it's personal to them. Like, I took it personally, some of the things that have been done or said to me. I've been punched in the face by a homosexual activist in Chicago. Yeah, I took that I was pretty offended by that. So these things have happened. So there's hate and bigotry on both sides. There's a language issue on both sides. But the fact is that in the debate, people are going to take our passion offensively.
All right, let's go to another caller. Stephen in Voorhees.
Something that's relevant. Why don't we worry about something that's really relevant? There's nothing relevant here. It's really irrelevant. Homosexuality is going to exist whether it's legal or not. It has really no bearing on what the legal statute is. It really doesn't matter. Okay? Oh, they get some benefits. So what? They're going to be together no matter what. Isn't that what the issue is? Everyone's worried about them being together.
Hold it, Stephen. No.
It's going to happen no matter what.
Stephen, excuse me, Stephen. No, I don't think that is the issue. This is a much different issue. It's not about who you love and who you're with. This is recognizing it in a state manner that has widespread repercussions. All right, do we have another caller? 866-472-8868. Jay, what about this now? I talked to Archbishop Chaput today, and he said there's a legitimate fear. Now you'll see some people, we've already seen it a little bit around the edges, pushing this into the religious sphere or the personal sphere if you own a business or do something here, recognizing this and pushing hard against that. That's what the fear is. Is that legitimate at all?
I think whenever we have the Catholic Church, I think we should look at their own recent history dealing with issues of sex, sexuality, and morality. I'm a Catholic. I was an altar boy. I come from a very Catholic family. But marriage is a civil contract. It's not a religious contract. And if it were a religious contract, then we wouldn't even allow for divorce. So frankly, I'm glad we don't listen to the Catholic Church when it comes to marriage as a civil contract. Obviously, the Catholic Church, especially the upper echelons, the guys in the cool hats, they've got a very dogmatic line, and I think that it's increasingly retrograde with each passing year.
Greg, let me take you back to New Jersey politics for a moment. I see again now a big call. Let's have this on the ballot, et cetera. Do you see any movement toward that? And if not, what's holding it up?
At this moment, what's holding it up is Steve Sweeney. I mean, there are even Democrat legislators that want to see this put on the ballot because they believe they can win. I've also heard counterparts to Jay in his movement that don't want to put on the ballot because they think the New Jersey Supreme Court will make the decision for them. So there's so many caveats here in New Jersey politics.
Is that before the Supreme Court right now in New Jersey?
There is a court case right now which will probably reach a resolution before anything got on the ballot.
Like how soon? Do you guys have a sense?
Possibly by the end of the year, certainly within the next 365 days.
And this involves what specifically?
This involves
that civil unions don't work. Therefore, there has to be a remedy. So this goes all the way back to the Lewis versus Harris case. So that's really what this is about. And so as soon as the governor vetoed the bill, the Lambda Legal, I believe it was, and the ACLU went into court immediately.
Okay, Jay, your position of civil unions, what's lacking? I've been told by various lawyers we could make it in the same way as the legal contract of marriage. We haven't done it in New Jersey. I think most people agree with that. But what, for viewers, what's lacking versus a civil union giving you legal rights?
Well, it's substance and its style. You know, first of all, symbolically, marriage is the only commitment of it's the only currency of commitment that the real world seems to understand. So there's that. And also, more substantively, you know, when it comes to issues like tax fairness, you know, New Jersey's really taxed very, very high. I think we would
Well, we all agree with
on
that. Greg, I got about 15 seconds left. Your bottom line on this, what happens next in New Jersey?
That's 2 times we've agreed. Taxes are too
Okay.
high in New Jersey.
Yes.
Bottom line on this, marriage still should remain the unit of one man and one woman for so many reasons. And when we could talk about why civil unions work or don't work, and I wish we had more time to do that. But you know, we're still going to continue to fight for the definition of marriage to remain one man and one woman. It's the basic societal construct.
Thanks, guys, very much. As always, when we have the two of you here together, it is lively. Coming up, my own thoughts tonight. Philadelphia voted one of the snobbiest cities, yes, Philadelphia in the country. I'll tell you why Travel and Leisure says, if you live in Philadelphia as I do, you're a snob. Travel and Leisure magazine today voted Philadelphia the 14th snobbiest city in the country. I'll tell you why in a second. In order, the snobbiest were San Francisco, New York, Boston. That sounds about right to me. We were voted the 14th most snobbiest out of all the cities in America because we are sports snobs. Now, this is the play that's out there in the national media, the idea that we threw stuff at Santa Claus, the idea that we don't get the wisdom and the ability of people like Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb. It's all ridiculous. It is completely ridiculous. Philadelphia, I think, is the greatest sports town in the country. The people here are knowledgeable. And if you make it here, if you succeed here, if people see the all-out drive, the skill that you bring, then you've made it forever. I've done events with some of the Flyers from the 74-75 championship team, and it seems as if it were yesterday the way that they're treated. Darren Dalton coming through, hopefully with flying colors today, with a brain operation, brain surgery for various tumors. The hearts and the fans, you won't see that in other cities in the same way. It's passion that distinguishes us, not snobbery. Now, the magazine that voted us one of the fattest in the country, that's something to work on. But when it comes to sports snobbery, Philadelphia is the very best sports town in the country. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on Dom Time.